like it. I like it. I like it. All right. Well, why don't we how about for this, your next comment here, instead of clapping, we just snap our fingers, like in a really refined, dignified way. So you guys ready to dignifiedly snap your fingers? You guys ready? Let's have a huge cheer for being ready.
Yeah!
Woo! All right, your next comedian is Dan Haber. Snap your fingers.
Hey guys, don't be alarmed, that is a cobra on my back. And it's not just there because I think it looks cool. I'm actually part of a gang called the Cobras. I'm the commander. So don't feel shy to refer to me as a Cobra Commander after the show. Also, after the show, don't come and tell me how great it was. I don't want to talk to anybody. So no matter how good I am tonight, I'm talking to this side of the audience. No matter how good I am tonight, do not come up to me. I'm going to make one joke that I didn't write today, but I thought about because you were bringing up cats. And I have 2 cats that I love too much. It's weird, but I never really understood scented kitty litter. Like, you know, hey, honey, maybe we'll have dinner in the litter tonight. It smells. What's that smell? What do we have dinner right here, honey? I mean, it smells like perfume and roses. Anyways, that's not a really good joke, but I actually have always thought, I'm like scented litter, really? It smells like shit. There's no denying it. Anyways, yeah, don't make up jokes. As you can see, I still use word perfect. Not even a joke. I'm just going to kind of read my jokes out because I'm too lazy to memorize them, and I think they sound better the way they're written. But if you were a real audience, I would have memorized them and said it and pretended I'm just making this all up. Oh, whoa, there's a curtain. But really, I wrote everything. So anyways, Stefan asked me, he mentioned that maybe make a few political jokes, so I wrote a few political jokes today. So we all know about this, Quebec Charter of Rights or Values or whatever they're calling it to cover up its blatant racism. The charter proposes banning all religious paraphernalia or garbs or immigrants from public service jobs. That's part of the joke. You guys didn't laugh because you're racist. I slipped in immigrants there. Anyways, without getting into the debate about whether who's white or wrong in this, I don't really care for religion one way or the other. The real question for me is, in Quebec, because we're in Quebec, where does the jester hat fit into all of this? Because, and you guys know those jester hats that people used to wear in medieval times, or currently at the Tam Tams on Sundays in Montreal during the summer, which is basically like a peek into medieval times. There's the open market, the peasants playing hacky sack, there's a battle going on up there. So, now I know technically jester hats don't technically cut, okay? Second, roll tape here. No, sorry. So I know technically jester hats aren't considered religious to the rest of the world, but I think if you sport one, it's basically your way of telling people you believe in God, because someone or some higher power somewhere is going to have to show mercy on you for how stupid you look in them. That's the end of that joke. I'll do the medieval thing first. Or last. Another political joke I came up with recently is I'm kind of pissed off at Canada ever since we got rid of the penny, because now every time I chime in on an argument and I try and give my 2 cents, It's like it's worth nothing. They just round it down to 0 and no one listens to me. Like, sorry, 2 cents, not worth anything. And I can no longer get a penny for my thoughts. Like just, but you know what, maybe that's better, I can get a nickel. Never mind, that's not a joke. That's not a joke anymore. In other political news today, I think Facebook should be regulated like any other addictive drug because I'm addicted to likes. Like I fucking need likes like a heroin junkie needs like heroin. Hold on, this joke gets better, I swear. I like likes so much that if I could, I would fuck a like and then like that fuck that I liked so fucking much that I couldn't like it any much longer. And then I would just sit and wait for all my friends to like it too. Where's this joke going? I'm gonna stop it there because it sucks. I'll show you where it ends, guys. It says, I would make... It says, and whenever that notification pops up to tell me that someone has liked the like that I just fucked, it would make my brain jizz into itself because it makes me feel so fucking good like cocaine does. So anyway, yeah, I think Facebook should be regulated. I went for lunch with my dad today. It's not a joke. We went for our annual lunch. And we were talking about what was going on with me work-wise, which incidentally is nothing. So we didn't really have much to talk about. But I told him I was trying to start a career as a stand-up comic. And my dad is, I guess he's kind of old-fashioned, or maybe he's just old. And he didn't really get what a stand-up comic is. I mean, he kind of knew, but so he asked me, he's like, well, are you going to be a clown? And so I had to tell him, I was like, well, Dad, I'm not quite a clown. Which, if you really think about, is like one of the most depressing things a 34-year-old son can say to his father is, well, Dad, I'm not quite a clown. Like, best case scenario, like a year from now at our next annual lunch, when I'm 35, I can turn to my dad and say, Dad, I'm a clown. Like, that's the best thing that can happen out of this. So yeah, so we were talking about jobs and stuff. My dad suggested that maybe I join the army, which I guess maybe it was the jacket I was wearing, but he actually suggested, he's like, maybe you could join the army, which to me made me think one of two things. One is that my dad really doesn't fucking know me, which is more plausible, or that he's a fucking genius and he thinks that the army needs an in-house drug dealer, or he was going on the clown tip and he was like, they could dress me up like a rodeo clown and use me as bait for the enemy, like, over here, Bin Laden! No? Fuck, I thought that one was gonna be funnier. I'll just end on this joke. Because I don't have a job these days, I wore my comedy boots. Could you look? Oh, wow. Fuck. Anyways, so because I don't have a job these days, I don't have a lot of income. So instead I use sperm as a way to measure my success. So as long as there's a little outcome every day, I feel like I did a good day's work. I ended on a fart joke.
All right. I like how we started out with snapping for Dan, and then we